What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here. Before we begin, if you plan on buying any singles in this video or just any TCG singles, feel free to use this link here in the video description. If you could do me a favor, just click on that. It'll take you to TCGPlayer and help support me with the singles you're already buying. Let's go ahead and dive in. What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, back with once again another market watch here. We're going to be talking about a number of cards, but essentially gearing up for OP07 because prices are already starting to reflect that. And just to make sure you get in early and are able to play the deck that you want. Of course, with Extra Booster 01 coming as well, Red Purple Law gets a huge boost in playability, and then even more so after the Sakazuki ban. So some of the cards we're going to be looking at, and if you haven't got your Gordons already, now is the time. They dropped down a little bit when Raise Max came out, which was to be expected, but people quickly realized that you still need this card. Some people play 4 and 4. I've seen lists play 2 and 4, but you definitely want to have this card if you plan on playing a Red Purple Law, and I don't see it ever getting any cheaper at this point, unless if it's included in the reprint booster, which hopefully we will see. And then, of course, next up is the Trafalgar Law as well. This card has been all over the place. I remember when I sold mine for $15 and felt like I was a winner. I still kept 4, but I thought I was big up. Turns out he can go up even more. He's sitting at about $20 and a decent amount of sales. People realizing that you also really want to play this card in the deck, being minus and a strong body. So you probably don't need a play set of this. You probably get away with 2, but definitely build your list accordingly and pick up what you need. But yeah, just between Gordons and this, you could easily be spending almost like $200. It's crazy how expensive this deck is. It's very cheap for those who are here early, very expensive for those coming into the game, sadly. And then on top of that, you also, one of the cards we're looking at is Sharah. So this is one of the best cards that came out for the deck. It allows you to block at the opponent's leader power, which is huge. So it pretty much devalues their leader swing completely, and he's a 3/4. Plus, you can also attack at their lead in case you, for some reason, encounter Nugate or they activate something that boosts them to 7. You can put it at 7, and then he stays that until your next turn, so he's not easy to remove if you swing with him. So overall, very strong card. The alt is still cheap. He went down, but people quickly realized, and you can see here also tons of sales. I'm not a huge fan of this art, I'll be honest, but I don't think I saw the movie that he was in. So you guys tell me. But if you don't already have him and you are big into that high rarity alt art texture cards, I would highly recommend picking him up. And then, of course, Vinsmoke Reiju, again, a Red Purple Law card here. Very strong because it helps you get cards in a deck that is slim on resources, and so you go Dawn minus, play this, and then of course you're going to have less and you get to draw 2, which is very strong, very nice. Card was pretty cheap ish. I think it went down to about like 12, 10, 12, and then quickly, like on release, and then quickly made her way back up to 15. So I would encourage you to make sure you have a playset of this. Plus, Reiju isn't bad either because Sakazuki's out of the way. Speaking of Sakazuki, we've known Sakazuki was going to get banned. Here's around when the initial announcement happened. He quickly tumbled to 70 and has slowly gone down ever since, just because they confirmed that we are going to see that. So just kind of want to highlight it here. You can get him at around 50. I'm sure once the ban actually happens, there will also be a decline. So I wouldn't necessarily pick this up until OP07 if you just need one for the collection. I think around 35 is probably where I finally pick up this leader. F in the chat for everybody who bought him around here, but they all got their playability out of him, right? And you never know. He could eventually come back. Always the possibility. But, yep, it'll be nice to see him gone. But yeah, he's very cheap right now. I think he'll go even cheaper, and so I just wanted to highlight him here today. Then, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about OP08. There's been some reveals, specifically Marco, Red, Blue, and King. And so we're going to talk about the Marco alt. You can see here, day was revealed. Went absolutely crazy. Not an insane amount of sales anymore. Slowly going to make their way down. When it comes to this, attention is the #1 asset. There isn't a ton of attention now, and there likely will not be until OP08 officially releases and we actually see some lists and some results, or until we see more support that directly correlates to you wanting to have this card. So I wouldn't necessarily pick these up, but it might be something I'd take out of my binder, or if you had them down here, it might just be time for you to get rid of them because you can play the rares. So it might be a great time to offload these, or a great opportunity for you to hold them. But again, there could be just absolutely bonkers blue support that we just don't even want these. But so far, this is the best card that you can play off of the ace. So we'll see. And then Marco super rare making his way up there. He was slowly like creeping back up. He was sitting about 5 at the start of this year. Now he's 12. He did go up quite a bit. It was sitting at like 15, 16 with the news. Yeah, if you have these in your binders, just be aware of their value if you don't have a play set. This card probably sees play just because you can pop any 5K for free, essentially, with this and the leader ability. Then, of course, we're going to highlight the alt as well. Once again, it was pretty much down here. I was like, I should probably pick these up, but then they went ahead and just made it, priced me out. No big deal, but these are sitting at around 40 again. Not a ton of attention since the initial when a ton of people bought them, and so slowly just kind of making their way back down. We're going to kind of talk OP07 once again here with Isho. Highly encourage you to pick up a playset if you haven't already, just because so he gets played in Moria and he's seeing a lot of play post ban for Saka, and we're just hit Saka OP07 with no Saka, whereas April just kickstarted that off, so it's still pretty early, but people were pretty much playing with the bans already, even though they weren't technically official. So this has been a card, and I wish I had made this video a little bit earlier for you guys, because I had caught it at around 20 bucks, 25. I started to see like right here on the 30, so on the first, I noticed that Isho was getting bought out. The alt, $33. Do you have these? You know, you probably do, because you pulled in and was like, oh well, this sucks, and it's just been sitting in your binder. If so, it's actually really strong now and might be worth pulling out of your binder, especially since the only other deck that can remove it is Moria now, and it's not going to get like bottom deck. So the #1 removal deck can't remove it anymore. So definitely something to look at. If you have it, it might be worth getting rid of. And now we're just going to kind of talk about the regional cards, so, and like the event packs. So with the regional, you get this nice Gear 5 Don, and it's actually very expensive right now. And so this is given for participation until June. Come June, this is going to be a top prize only, which I don't agree with. Bandai or anyone working there, if you're watching this, I did very much appreciate exclusive like entry items that can also be like run as prizing, like the Dawn packs and things like that. This does make me slightly sad that we don't get to continue just to get these for entry. Instead, they replaced it with 3 booster packs. I think you get 1 event pack and then 2 event packs if you go in person. So just my thoughts, but it is about $70. So if you enter into a regional and you have this, you know, don't get lowballed. Some people might try to offer you like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I don't think it's worth 70, but it is a very cool card, and I think a lot of people want to play set. I'm chasing a play set, so. And then, of course, one of the other regional entries that you get is a regional pack, which could include this brand new. And so this one is the online. There's one for 108, 109. But the offline one is just a little bit more expensive at 130, and it's been seeing sales at this. I don't see why people just want to pick up the other one. So if you're looking at these, just know that there are 2 versions, and maybe just buy the cheaper one. But some people want the matching set, so that might be part of it. But yeah, that's a possibility. You also have event pack cards. like Roanoa Zoro, these are the two most expensive cards that you can pull. And so this is actually very playable, very strong. We've been waiting forever for this card, and it's about $100, just like Pudding was. And it's seeing sales. It's slowing down just a little bit because they haven't, the last two events, they haven't made this legal yet. So we'll see how this plays out once / if it is, due to the limited distribution in this manner, kind of like the Uda packs were. So very interested to see how that plays out. You can also pull Yamato. This one I feel like is more so just waifu value, but $55. You get 2 event packs for entry, so those are pretty nice. Monet, $55, playable in Fortress Yamato. Very nice looking card in terms of art versus the regular one. But I don't know if this holds. I wouldn't pick these up. I feel like these are ones that just, as they continually put out Event Pack 3, it'll just get lower. But, again, back to some of these regional cards. One of my favorite cards that I'm looking forward to the most, of course, the Gum Gum Jet Pistol. It matches the Fire Fist from OP02. You've got Luffy to the left, Ace to the right, both in the same form, punching down. I'm so excited to have both of those together. Not a lot available, not a lot of sales, so no real telling the value on this, but I do think this holds a lot of collector value. Plus, it's one of those few alt arts, but it's not textured, so. And then, of course, Scratch Minipoo, the 2K. It's really just a 2K, but it is a green 2K, sitting at around $50. No sales in the 60. Well, there was a couple, but yeah, so you can pull that. And then the Sanji, and we also have a reprint of this in the Nationals set that we bought. It was the folder that they did at Bandai Card Fest. It's got a textured version of this, which will undoubtedly look better than this. So I don't know if this is worth picking up. This will probably be just like the regular event Sanji and also be very cheap, like $10 when everything's said and done. And then, speaking of Bandai Card Fest, one of the cards, the last card I just want to talk about today is this Luffy from there. So people were paying about $100, and it's slowly made its way down because there were a ton of them, and there was a lot of controversy around this card. But at $35, and it's Gear 5 Luffy, I think this card's an amazing pickup. It's not textured, but it does have a nice foiling, and it was from the first Bandai Card Games Fest, and it's English. I don't know after Japan, but I know the Japanese ones were $60 forever. So just something to check out. And as always, if you're buying any of these singles, use the link in the video description. It helps me on singles you're already buying. And if you enjoy this content, you're looking forward to more One Piece content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you could do me a favor, just click that. It helps me out a ton. And as always, thank you all so much for watching.